Draft 2 of 10 in the deep end, Summer of Love. It's the Best Ball FFPC tournament tonight. Thanks for being with us, Mike and Adam. I feel like I'm so loud. I don't know if we haven't tested all the techs, the technicians who were here earlier all left. It was too late. 9:30 is too late for them. It's a union situation. I don't know. Hopefully we sound okay, or I do. Not so worried about Adam. Anyway, here we go at 9:30 Eastern Time. We're picking fourth in the FFPC Best Ball Tournament. Thanks for watching and listening. Mike and Adam, powered by the Player Profiler Network. This is the Deep End.
I have a great feeling about tonight's draft. I didn't want to pick in the top 4. We discussed it. I'm like, let me get at the end. I want to get at the end. I've picked so much, but the little bit of strategy that we've done and drafting a best ball team right now with Nick and Sean, you know what I mean? It's just got the juices flowing, and I'm ready to roll. I think we're going to get what we want tonight.
How do you feel about the dynamic with them? You feel like we're heard?
Are we live? Are we live right now?
We are so live.
I feel like the group chat that we have with Go Bills, with the guys who've won the main event FFPC back to back, and I think Sean won the puppy last year on Underdog. I feel like I'm going to learn something, or at least challenge my convictions on stuff every time we dig into players. That's what I think.
Do you watch Top Chef?
I do not watch Top Chef, no.
So last week, turn off the deep end if it's going to be a problem. Last week on Top Chef, there were 4 competitors, and there were 8 fish and 8 different cooking methods to pick from. And one woman had won the right to pick her 2 of each. So as we get started, Savannah is her name, I think. She picked her 2 fish and then her 2 cooking methods. And then there's this other guy, Danny, who everybody likes, but he has been kind of the best. And he went ahead and said, well, I'll do this and this. And he did not really have the right to claim anything.
Oh.
But the other 2 people are like, okay. And they never even challenged him. They just went ahead and said, okay, well, we'll figure out the rest. And he got through. And that was to use your term, that was an alpha move. Like, sure. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do.
Yep.
And they were sort of just taken aback by that, I guess, and then had to figure it out. So every group, 2 people, 3, 4, there are those dynamics. And, somebody usually ends up being the leader, and they're not always someone who should be the leader.
Sure. And like I said, I like the dynamic, and we are on the clock.
Let's go.
CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. Is this what we anticipated?
Yep.
Yeah, do it. Pull the trigger.
Breece Hall.
Love it. Why? Tell the people why.
Well, I think a few reasons are out there to think he could be RB1. Last year there were doubters. His knee injury. Aaron Rodgers missed the whole season. He was still great. So was Garrett Wilson, by the way, on that team last season. We talked about wanting to try running back at the front of this draft tonight. We haven't done a lot of that. And so it was Hall or Bijan, and we sort of played out a few rounds ahead, thought maybe Hall would be a better, maybe more fun, all else equal, but certainly worthy of the pick. We were going to take Lamb or McCaffrey or Bijan, not Tyreek, at 4 if it happens that 2 of the running backs had gone earlier. So Hall is how we wanted to start. I like the Jets this year, Adam. I think you do too. I think, you're Go Bills, but they're always defer to the betting markets, and the betting markets love the Jets. I looked this up yesterday. All the perceived good AFC teams, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Houston, Chiefs, of course, Jets, Dolphins, they're all minus money on the over, meaning that the bettors are betting them up. The one, perceived good team in the AFC that people are betting the under, and it's pretty heavily, is Buffalo.
That's interesting. I mean, I think I read I'm not a huge gambler, but I know there's people that have said, when it comes to betting football, I don't know if it's for games or for seasons or just overall, like you want to bet on coach, offensive line, defensive line, and quarterback, not in that particular order. And I feel like the Bills have a solid coaching staff, obviously an elite quarterback, O-line's back, D-line, is kind of in flux there. We'll see how Von Miller does, but
Ugh.
so that's super interesting. But I get it. Like I feel like people think that they got worse, and I can't really blame them. They lost their 2 starting safeties. They lost, Stephon Diggs, and what did they really add? So I could totally get that. And the Jets, to Brees, like I think that division's up for grabs. I think they've got they have a Hall of Fame quarterback, a great outside weapon in Garrett Wilson, and Brees Hall has proven to be a really, really good running back. The discussion between Brees Hall and Bijan Robinson is, my thing. I'm going to have plenty of Bijan. I'm going to have plenty of Brees Hall. I think Brees Hall could, and I think I don't want to say probably will, but I think it's a coin flip that he's not the RB1 over Christian McCaffrey this year, because I think Christian McCaffrey's, much older and already kind of worn down. You wouldn't be surprised if McCaffrey kind of took a step back this year or even fell off a cliff with kind of his age and his touches and his injury history. Bijan Robinson, we think he's good, right? But we don't know if he's good yet. He wasn't really great last year. New quarterback, new offensive coordinator, great, awesome. We expect great things, but we don't know that for sure. There's maybe like a 5% Trent Richardson vibe there, like, really good rookie year. And then, oh my gosh, he's terrible. I don't think that, but there is that possibility. I know Brees Hall is really good because I've seen it.
I think it's who will be the RB1, 20% McCaffrey, 20% Bijan, 20% Brees Hall, 10% Gibbs, 10% Taylor, 10% Barkley, and of course, 10% Zeke.
That's right. Put a bet on it now, boys.
Let's go.
Heard it here on the deep end.
Why not? We'll see what happens later. Watch what happens live. We are in the second round of this FFPC Best Ball Tournament draft. Derrick Henry at 206, early but fun. This is my first entry in this tournament, Adam.
This might be my second or third. And I'm going to have plenty more. I love this entry point. I love the prize. I love the best ball format. So I wish these filled as much as the fantasy pros for the live drafts. Like I'm not a slow draft guy. I'm sure I can do a million slows, but I like the live drafts, and the fantasy pros seem to fill every night, especially come summertime. So I do like this price point a lot. The 125.
I don't know if it's summer, but it's 95.
That's
in
right.
Buffalo today.
That's right.
I have friends in St. Louis. They say this is what it's like to live there every day.
Wow.
And
I wouldn't complain. I was in my pool today, so anytime I can go in my pool, I like it.
Well, if you're retired and independently wealthy, you can spend your whole day in the pool. I don't know why you do it in Rochester.
That's right.
Dalton Kincaid goes at 207 to Stacy. We have to talk to her later.
Oh, we do have to talk to her later.
What do you want to do here with that in mind? I mean, again, it's tight ends 3 times in round 2, very much like Hardways and other Fantasy Pros drafts we did. FFPC tight end premium. They're coming for the tight ends.
They're coming for the tight ends. We were going to probably take Kincaid. We had talked about it. I'm okay with the guy in the queue for sure. I know it's on brand for us, and I'm fine with it. Also, the guy at the top of the ADP list, I know you hate it. I think you hate it. Well, there goes the guy we were going to take. Oh, there we go. Okay. So,
wow.
I mean, I love the thought of, let's talk it out quick. If we go Saquon Barkley, we don't touch running back for 7 rounds. And I'm okay with that. And we have a chance to have 2 top 3 running backs fantasy wise. But I'm also, the safer pick would probably be like a Devontae Adams.
Let's take Adams.
Okay.
Let's see if the guys behind us want to take running backs.
Yes. Let's see if they're sold on. I mean, they're definitely going to. I mean, Saquon's not getting back to us, but
fine.
That's pretty.
But there are 2 or 3 other running back options there that work. So we were going to take Kincaid.
And just so this is a tournament, so you do want to kind of get different if you can. Brees Hall's normal ADP, according to Fantasy Mojo, is the 106. Barkley is the 205. So they're very close to, like, you can kind of easily build Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley teams. So that wouldn't have been, it's not like some crazy fall there that would have kind of forced us to do that. But
what an interesting second round. You know what? Watch for second rounds to get weird as more and more people in the dead zone of the draft season sort of comprehend how everybody hates the second round. So mess with it. And, depending on price point, people will be more and more willing to do that. Andrews goes 301. So I think tight end is out for us here.
It is. I would have loved Andrews. I'm putting some guys in the queue here.
You have the password? Kyle Pitts at 302. Not waiting. Wow. Let's take advantage.
And there goes Jalen Waddle. Sorry, there goes,
Olave went.
What are you leaning towards here?
With this draft, I want the best, sort of quote value. Could be Collins.
I like Nico or Ayuk here. And because we can stack Nico with a couple of other receivers there and the QB if we want.
There's also Allen, if you want to play that with Hall. No?
Oh, because of the week 17?
It's all right.
I don't want to play
We can get Bills anytime we want tonight.
That's right.
Pick your favorite of Ayuk or Collins. I'm pretty neutral.
Let's go Nico. Go Nico. I like the it's really easy to stack him with the other receivers and the quarterback. I like doing that. And he's kind of right. He's like right at ADP there for sure.
Yep.
I'm not on quarterback early. I feel like we can get Kyler Murray I don't want to give draft plans away, but we can get guys like Kyler Murray in the 9th round. Like there's just such good talent there a little later on.
The one thing I thought was likely tonight was I'd be picking a bunch of guys I don't like. And it really isn't shaping up that way. We'll explain that as we go. Mike Shope, Adam Krautwurst in the deep end. It's the best ball tournament on FFPC, powered by the Player Profiler Network. Thanks for watching and listening wherever you happen to find us. Before we get into our 4th and 5th round picks, let's take a moment to listen to our sponsor. Here's a word from them.
Hey, why do we partner with the FFPC? Because they have the widest variety of fantasy football formats, and it's the easiest place to find all types of fantasy football contests in the world. What if you want to play for high stakes? Well, they have a $6 million prize pool with their Fantasy Players Championship. They also have way too early best ball leagues that start in February and dynasty leagues. They have the closest thing to a liquid market for orphans that there is in all of Dynasty. And the FFPC has sponsored us for half a decade because we are actually delivering information that can help fantasy gamers, and they're generating so much interest and bringing in so many new users, casual users even. The FFPC creates a unique experience where you can both compete against the best and make money. Use promo code UNDERWORLD to get $25 off your first team. $25 off your first team at the FFPC with promo code UNDERWORLD. Go get it!
Go get it.
Look at all that purple.
I know.
Pitts at 302 is the most interesting pick of the draft, I think, so far.
Yes. I'm trying to see who and thanks for Fantasy and Frames joining us, not on our show. They're doing their own show tonight and live streaming this. Stacy over at Stacy Perez. Are they red zone? Is that what they are? Pick
yeah,
6?
6. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kincaid, Kyron. So interesting. I just can't get on the Kyron bandwagon. I think he might not even be as good as the backup. So I just can't. I can never pull the trigger.
Team 9 with 2 Rams. And not Kyron Williams. It's Puka, London, and Cup.
I like that start. I got to be honest. I like that start a lot.
You like both receivers in a best ball so early on the same team?
Yeah. I mean, if you're betting on being right, you're betting on it being great, and then
look at 11.
Hurts and Mahomes and wow. I mean, listen, got the stacks there.
AJ Brown, Travis Kelce, Hurts, Mahomes. Why not?
This is great for the content. Yeah, why not? Exactly. Got the number one receiver for each team.
I want to start calling picks bare knuckle style at this point.
Good luck with this draft.
Rashad White
Rashad, that's right.
at 10.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be? Oh, it's the QB run. Just what we wanted, Michael. Just what we wanted.
Neighbors at 9. I like Neighbors for us. Where is the value going to be?
Me too.
At pick 45.
Do we want to talk receivers? Yeah, there's a couple receivers.
DJ Moore.
Yes.
Where is he?
DJ Moore, Devonta Smith.
Smith is gone.
Is he? Okay. I'm looking at just where the value is. ETN, is he gone? Yep.
Wow. Stacy's taking DJ Moore.
Mid-third.
One of these two teams is taking DJ Moore. No doubt.
Are you out on Josh Jacobs? Yes.
I don't love Jacobs starting running back because, again, like the teams behind us, 1, 2, 3, have a total of 4 receivers. She takes more. I want to keep pushing receiver, even if it is best ball. Like, I feel like that's the play here.
Pushing as in like drafting it?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a guy in the queue I like for us. I'll say it as soon as.
I don't want. Oh wow, number 4. Do I?
Yes.
I do.
I'm saying
1, 2. 1, 2.
Let's see. All right, we're on the clock.
So you pick between 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, I like Diggs. I like the stack. I mean, it kind of shows our hand. It shows our hand a little bit, but Diggs has way bigger upside, in-game upside than, we're looking to make the final of this thing. I think his ceiling is much higher than Zay Flowers, I think.
Do you think Jackson goes to the team on the end?
Yes. He might go Jackson Flowers.
If we took Jackson, does he take Flowers or she?
I don't know.
Let's take Diggs.
Yeah, I mean, I like Diggs on this team, and then my concern is
Jackson goes to the 3.
Oh,
wow! Oh my! Why 3 Dolphins? This is fun.
Why? Why? Why?
So good.
I really like the way this is played out for us so far.
Do you?
I do. I mean, Nico and Diggs. I mean, we didn't get any crazy values, but Evan Ingram. I mean, we're fading tight end in this, which could be dangerous. But I got some mid-round tight ends I like. We'll just have to take a couple of them.
56, 59. Oh boy. Okay.
I like my number 3 in the queue here.
I don't know. Do we have to?
If we want him, we gotta. I mean, he might make it back to us, but I doubt it. But I think it makes. Let me see draft board. I mean, I think it makes sense for us to do it. Or do you? No.
I defer to you. I think I like. Oh boy.
I mean, there aren't any skill guys I like right here, unless you wanted to take the third receiver off this team.
If you had a tight end you thought was in for like a top 3 tight end season, then I say do it. I put a couple in just to give you ideas, but wow.
I mean, I do like Stroud here. I mean,
okay.
I think it just makes sense with this build.
It does, but my concern is like we're sort of paying up for a non-rushing quarterback.
But we're paying for what We've got his two top receivers, is what I'm saying. Like we want that all to work.
We could have
what I mean?
picked
Like,
Dell.
We could have taken Dell and maybe he got back to us, but I didn't want to risk it with the quarterback run. And I mean, Richardson just went, and one team's got two quarterbacks down here, so everyone else is probably panicked.
Well, I mean, Adam, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, you can still get away with it down there. It's best ball. It's a different draft. I've been doing more Fantasy Pros and redraft stuff or Dynasty. So we'll see.
What's the who did the Texans play 17?
Baltimore.
Oh, baby. Shoot that out.
Well, we had to pick Jackson and then be available for either Diggs or Flowers or Stroud even in the next round. And we didn't. So
I really like Team 9. I like Team 9 a lot.
Oof.
Well,
every good drama has, these dark periods. You can't just rainbows and unicorns, right? It can't just be the whole thing. We won again. We're going to win. Here's $500,000. Throw some money in the air. There have to be challenges. And for me, this one is challenging. And it started with the Kincaid pick.
Getting sniped on Kincaid.
We've been you and I have made a point to get the tight end in these FFPC drafts ahead of schedule. And it's always worked out. This time we were not able to do it. We pushed Andrews, because that was a little bit early. And here we are. Like, this is going to be sort of welcome to Trey Johnson season. Is that right?
Please don't.
Tavion Sanders, welcome to the deep end.
Right. I don't know. I think there's some. Yeah, no, I get it. We're not going to get the elite tight end, but good news is it's best ball, and if we get two or three, I mean, I don't think we can wait a ton to get our guys to get a tight end. I mean, there's one that I love. Let me see where he goes. Oh, where does he go?
I'm guessing who that is.
Oh yeah, you know who it is.
Is it Bob Cousy?
By the way, congratulations to my Celtics.
Oh, I'm so happy for them. Finally,
Well,
what an underdog story.
Finally.
The good people of Rochester, New York are rewarded as the Boston Celtics win the NBA championship for the 18th time.
With homegrown talent. They don't buy it like the Lakers, Mike. Okay? They don't Hollywood. Okay?
The Lakers have 17.
I know. With like two players drafted on the team as the core.
You mean currently?
Like ever. Like Magic Johnson is like LeBron, no. Shaq, no. Kobe,
Worthy.
no. They didn't draft anybody. They're Hollywood.
James Worthy.
Worthy, yeah, exactly. It's been 40 years since they drafted a good
Byron Scott, AC Green, the greatest team ever assembled.
Oh my gosh.
Bob McAdoo was not a homegrown Laker. He was a Buffalo Brave.
See? Speaking of Xavier Worthy. There we go.
Speaking of Xavier.
Or speaking of Worthy, sorry. Xavier Worthy. That's what I meant.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay, round 6 in a sort of a silly best ball tournament draft here in the deep end. Team 9 going 6 receivers to start. Okay. Got to make them pay, right?
Got to make them pay. Where? I'm still looking for the tight end. Where does he go? Here we go. Okay, so we can wait a couple rounds on the guy I'm thinking of. But unless we want to reach. So are we looking to – I think we're okay to get a tight end with this pick if we want, if 7 doesn't take one. Or I'm okay with keep pounding receiver. Again, we got that hero RB, So I don't think we would have gotten Stroud with Richardson and Burrow going.
Fine. But I didn't really care if we got Stroud.
With those receivers, I feel like we got it. We got to care with Nico and Diggs.
Okay.
Best ball, you want it's the stacking. It's the, best ball mania stacking is what it is.
Well, I learned from you, so.
Oh yeah. So I like the top guy on our queue. Where's the second one? I also like the second one. We can probably wait on the second one.
I agree.
A pick. We could also double tap and get crazy.
I agree.
All right, so I like Njoku a lot.
Fine.
Right
Fine.
now. Perfect.
Fine.
Perfect.
By week 10.
Fine. Look at that. Insta call Kenneth Walker.
I hate this team, I think.
Our team?
I might.
Oh my God. Oh, like, well, okay. So what don't you like? Is it the build? Is it the actual players? Is it both?
It can't be the actual players because I never claimed to know that much about the actual players and how they'll do. So it can't be that.
Okay.
I just don't like leaning into an offense with so much draft capital that you don't have a clear – it's not the Dolphins, right, Houston?
Yeah.
It's 3 receivers and a running back who catches the ball that they traded for and paid for no reason, and a tight end and a quarterback who doesn't run. So in my perfect world, we spread that out a little bit. Then we get lucky with one of them later.
Okay, so I like – who just got taken? Oh, my God. I was going to say I like Christian Watson, but he just gets taken. Rashee Rice, or we take Dallas Goedert, but I got a tight end that I like a little bit later also. Or another receiver. Or I haven't even looked at the running backs, to be honest with you.
I like Jonathan Brooks.
I was literally clicked on the running backs to find Jonathan Brooks, and there he is. Yes, fine.
So how is this team going to win?
Through the Houston Texans, through Breece Hall and the Houston Texans. If Tank Dell gets hurt, this team is going to be a problem.
Well, we're not, in the desert at tight end anymore.
Right. And Njoku was sensational down the stretch last year.
I like him.
He could be tight end. He could finish out at Kyle Pitts. He could be tight end 5 this year.
I would say right now through 7 rounds, this team is where DeChambeau was on 18 off the tee.
Up and down. We got to get up and down from the sand. Is that what you're saying?
Make a good second, make it make sense the rest of the way, and then let your talent do the rest.
That's right. Our talent or their talent?
Well, we're DeChambeau in this example.
Oh, gotcha.
Jalen Warren goes 7.05 earlier than Najee Harris. Who would you rather have in a vacuum this year, Adam? Warren or Najee?
I think Najee. I love hearing when kind of running backs that are kind of slowish when they've lost a bunch of weight. It's worked. It worked for LaShawn McCoy. It worked for Le'Veon Bell. It's worked for a bunch of others. I think that weight loss is always a good thing for running backs. It makes them quicker. And everyone here, they're putting on weight to carry the load. I hate that. Never works out.
But they're all working out in the slot.
That's right. Achan's definitely working out in the slot for sure.
So working out in the slot.
That's right. What now for the people? Why do we love Jonathan Brooks? I love him for a second half run. The rookies in the second half comes back from the injury, and then listen, he's going to be in a terrible offense, but it's probably going to go through him the whole second half of the year.
Speaking of the Texans, you just don't know whose offenses are going to be terrible. They probably made a huge upgrade at head coach.
Yes.
And we do have a body of work with Bryce Young, but he is talented. And if it gets to sort of level par, maybe, then you have a lot to like. You have players that are being basically shunned because of the stigma of the recent Panthers. So you have a very talented running back, the first running back picked in the draft. He wasn't everybody's RB1, but he was close to that, coming off an injury, another reason to sort of push him off. If you have a team that, you need more of a veteran like Aaron Jones or somebody like that you have more confidence is going to play, that's fine. But I like to gamble in these things, and Brooks has a higher ceiling than any of Swift, Walker, Kamara, even Mixon. I feel like Brooks has more potential, and his talent is there, and his team is being slighted. So for me, when you're drafting other running backs, to me, that's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you made all the right points there. And I know it's just crazy to say, oh, he's coming off an injury, but you want the young guy, even though he's already coming off an injury. But I think he was almost everyone's RB1 coming out of the draft, and it's baked in. His injury and his what team he's on is baked in. And the Panthers had good running back weeks with guys like Deontay Foreman and a bunch of bums last year. They love to pound the rock. So let him stay on the pup, come back, be fresh, and we're ready to go and carry the load.
Our team through 7 rounds of this best ball tournament draft at the FFPC, Breece Hall, and then in round 7, Brooks at running back, CJ Stroud, our quarterback from round 5, Devontae Adams, and then Texans, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs in 3-4, David Njoku, tight end in round 6. So we have our starting lineup mostly, at least.
Yeah, and I think we are. Freiermuth was the other tight end I really liked. He went a round and a half early. Was that the guy that you thought? Was that the guy you thought it was?
Well, Mojo has him at pick 95, and this is pick 88. So I think that's fine. That team started 6 receivers, which is awesome.
Right.
Much respect for that. JSN goes at 806. We are up in 3. And
I like the top 3 guys in our queue there. I like the top one the most. It's got switched. I'll tell you in a second. You are up next. Who's this guy going to take, or girl going to take here?
Not the guy just moved for the top.
Right. Agreed. Is that? Oh, that was the guy I wanted, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay. Is Najee Harris value here?
A little bit. Yep. His mojo is 81, and this is 93.
Wow. I like it. Do it. Just based on that and being able to build again in these tournaments, you're able to build unique rosters. And so having a guy, I know we're early in the draft season, but having a guy that's probably not paired up much with Breece Hall or Jonathan Brooks, is a cool thing. And I think Mojo has I don't know if he has it for the best ball tournament, the stack finder.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So you can see if what rosters have already been built, which is a really cool tool.
I think you want to start thinking correlation coming up here.
Yep.
Week 16. So it's funny. We have Houston and Pittsburgh who play in. Wait, no, that's not right. Houston, Baltimore in 17. They do play, but it's the one matchup that is not. If they played a third holiday, like New Year's Day or something, it would be Houston and Pittsburgh.
Sure.
So they do have a matchup, but not in the playoff weeks. Week 16 is the one where 3 out of 12 go forward, so I'm not too keen on focusing on 16, but 17 is 81 players, big money at the top. 17 is still very relevant in this. It's receiver time, I think.
Yes, it's Jameson Williams or Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas has a chance to push for the number 1 there. Jameson will not. Do we care about? Is there any correlation or any schedule stuff that matters here?
Detroit.
Detroit's in a dome late season.
Jacksonville. Let's take Thomas.
Do it. I like what he can do on the outside there. Lots of targets to go around after Calvin Ridley leaves. So
AFC South.
And Christian, AFC South. And Christian Kirk isn't some like alpha receiver either. It's like Brian Thomas could certainly be the red zone guy for sure. And immediately Jameson Williams goes, who was our other thought there.
Speaking of the red zone, Team 6.
Speaking of the red zone, that's right.
Jordan Love, Jaden Reed. She can keep going with the Packers. I mean, the Packers are so easy and fun to stack in the mid rounds of these things. If you get stuck, there's always Green Bay. Dobbs still on the board. Reed went. Watson went, but that's round 6, round 7. The 2 tight ends. I mean, the rookie running back. There's so much to do with Green Bay. And if you're in the middle, it's a little bit trickier like she is. 4, 5, 8, 9 are my least favorite draft positions because I am a control guy. So 2, 3, I can play against 1. 10, 11, I can play against 12. 6, 7, I'll take what I get. But that those sections in between, I don't know. That's where I feel like I'm most out on a limb.
Those are all really good points and like a different way of looking at it. Because some people are like, hey, I want to be in the middle because I want all the value that falls. I want to gobble it up, right? Regardless of like team build or whatever. Like if there's, if there's value and you're a good drafter and you know what the ADPs are, you can just gobble up that value there. Whereas at the end, it's a little bit harder. You're kind of forced to do different things, but like you said, you can play off of, which is very important to be able to do and to be able to know how to do that. You can kind of give your hand away like we did the Texans, right? From the 4 hole. It might be a little bit harder to do it from the 1 or the 2 or the 11 or the 12 because the teams, like you said, the teams in front of you can see what you're trying to do and block you or know that they can't wait on a Texan because they know that you're going to take them.
Very unusual draft for me. Quarterbacks are going. We're at quarterback 13 off the board. We have 1 in Stroud. There probably will be a couple more picked before we go again. So that's one thing to consider. I mean, that's not terrible, though, with Lawrence, Herbert, Caleb Williams still available. We should be thinking about that a little bit.
Yes.
Everything's on the table.
Yeah, Lawrence with Brian Thomas would be nice. For sure. So we could probably throw them in there. Who's our... Yeah, we're definitely not looking at the Vegas QB.
Which is whom?
Gardner Minshew. Did I see that the starting position just got handed to? I was at a soccer game coaching and I looked down. Who took the starting quarterback position today?
Aiden O'Connell?
No, not for Vegas. I'm thinking of a different team.
Mitchell Trubisky. Darnold was. So in Minnesota, that's not going to be for week 1 necessarily, but Kevin O'Connell said that Darnold goes into training camp as the presumptive starter, which is fine.
Okay. Which is fine and probably better for Justin Jefferson, at least right out of the gate.
Also, did you see J.J. McCarthy's first pitch at the baseball game tonight?
No. How was it?
It's awful.
Is there a baseball card of that?
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous. Oh, no.
It's like, remember Trent Edwards throwing out the first pitch at Rogers Center? And so it was really bad. And at WGR, we did shows on whether that mattered. It was just like in the dirt, way off. That's basically what McCarthy did for.
He choked. She's a choke artist. That's what it sounds like.
Well, that's what we talked about. Like, don't you want your quarterback to be able to throw one right down the middle? Like, just shouldn't. My sister did that at the Micah Hyde charity game a couple of weeks ago. She's like, just right in there. If your NFL team's starting quarterback can't throw a strike, you got to be a little bit. You got to think about that.
Yeah,
I think
for sure, absolutely. That should have that at the combine. A rubber, bring in a pitching rubber to the combine. Jameis Winston would have been incredible.
So this is early for quarterback 2. If you want to push it behind us, there are teams with 1, 2, and 1 quarterback. and no Jaguars or Chargers. There goes Caleb Williams. Do you want to do it, or do you want to push it off?
I want to push it off because there's some guys. I liked a guy in the next round too. I don't know how early it is in the next round for the guy that I just pulled up. I kind of want to get some more receivers, and I don't even care who the receiver is. I just want another one, unless you hate them all.
Are they in the queue?
I put one in the queue. I put one in the queue. But
what do you think about the guy at the top?
Is it a quarterback?
No, receiver.
Okay, you changed it up.
It's early. Let's take the other receiver you had in there.
Okay.
Or Lockett. Mike Williams or Lockett.
Lockett will play sooner. Williams will be a slower go.
Lockett.
Perfect. Because we might be able to get Mike Williams anyways.
Mike Williams. There goes Musgrave.
You got Mike Williams, Breece Hall. And then if you want, oh my God, three quarterbacks.
Three.
Did not anticipate that. I think we might need to take another one here. QB. It's best ball, right? So in regular redraft, I would just take Stroud. I wouldn't even take another one.
Well, I would think two more go before our next turn because of that pick. Cousins with Pitts.
Oh.
There goes one. Lawrence.
Yeah. Javonta, I'm trying to think. Thomas Lockett. I mean, there's two teams behind us with no quarterback.
I think we're taking one no matter what.
Yes. Yep. Okay. So do we want – I like Watson. Which is good because Herbert's – oh, yeah. I saw you moved him up. Why do you like Herbert over? I just think the pass run rate. I think he's just going to run the ball so much.
Watson is 50 picks early.
Oh, is he? Okay. Probably not in this draft, but if Watson's 50 picks early, then don't take him. Take Herbert.
I think I want to. I'm just checking. Wow. Quarterback 17. Yeah. I mean, Cousins went. I think it's Justin Herbert, Adam.
Do it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I definitely didn't want to reach. And I think so Herbert's going to be super efficient this season. They're not going to throw like crazy, but he's going to have a really good offensive line, have a really good defense, and Harbaugh's going to have them playing, and he's going to be efficient, but the passing rates are definitely going to come down. I think him and Roman, last time they were teamed up together, they were like their pass rate was for 4 years, like 30, 30, 29, 31, ranked out of 32 teams in the NFL. So, but he's going to be efficient. And we can are there still some receivers left on that team we can draft?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, everybody on that team, nobody knows what to expect. Tight ends, running back, receiver, I guess Palmer, but it's so wide open, blank slate with the Chargers. Really tough. But maybe good for us. We're going to be fishing a little bit here late.
Exactly. Definitely good for us.
They play New England in week 17, by the way.
Good. New England stinks. Home or away?
I think away, but we don't care about that.
Well, not that. I mean, weather, but
And then there's the Patriots too. The rest of this draft could just be Chargers and Patriots. I mean, live a little, right?
Hang up. I'll call back later.
Fortunately for our viewers and listeners who might be a little squeamish, we will not be podcasting the entire draft.
Yeah,
so you won't have to worry about having to watch that.
No.
Our next live draft is July 9th, and that is the beginning of what we're calling our celebrity series. Adam and I are reaching out to people we know who are well-known in sports but not in fantasy, and having them join us and draft with us, player takes and vibes and just sort of a fun show. So that'll start on July 9th, and we'll have our schedule finalized here in the next few days. Yeah,
I'm so excited. And listen, it's the day. What's the day? June
18th.
We got to start working on the Deep End Invitational. Okay, that's that'll be in August too, where we do the Deep End Invitational, where we've got a week of drafts and live streams with the best drafters, best fantasy football players in the world. And we've been running that for 4 or 5 years now. Started as the Draft Sharks Invitational, now the Deep End Invitational.
Last year's winners, go Bills.
Go Bills. They just win at everything.
They won by 100.
Smoked everybody. I came in third overall, came in second overall a couple of years ago.
So close. I came in second overall 2 years ago.
There you go.
Out of what?
60 or so? Yeah, 60 of the best and the brightest. Okay. Speaking of the best and the brightest, what's Stacy doing over here? So she's got the Packers stack, and she's a Packers fan, by the way. Packers stack.
Packers, Braves, and
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
That's right.
She lives in Tampa. See the jersey, by the way? Are you on camera tonight?
I am on camera tonight. We got a hockey game tonight. Oilers. Is that Edmonton? Oh boy.
4-2 after 2.
Who and is it a 3-1 lead? I'm sorry.
They're down 3-1.
I've been locked into this thing called.
Don't be sorry.
Finals.
It's hockey. Don't be sorry. You don't have to apologize.
You know,
Your Celtics.
Because my Boston Celtics won that.
My Kuzi and Russell came in today from SGC grading.
How'd you do?
61 Fleer. I got a 4 on the Kuzi and a 2 on a Russell. Both fair. That's fair.
Okay. All right. Listen, have your people call my people. All right.
Maybe I want to build the plane out of the 61 Fleer Kuzi. You don't even know.
I like a couple of these receivers here. Again, with receiver, best ball, just tell me a story. Tell me, I don't even care about player takes right now, but a lot of smart people like the number 1 ranked receiver in our queue. I like number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So make sense.
I think it has to correlate at this point.
Okay.
So Herbert, Stroud, Patriots, Ravens, Chiefs.
What round are we in? 12? 12.
Man, it's pretty blank. I think the guy just moved to number 1 is my top choice. And it's not going to probably look great on paper with the
We don't care about
80. Well, it's not bad. I would do it. I think at this point you're playing to build your
That's what I was hoping.
Build your bets out.
That's what I was hoping to see at number 1 when you said that. So I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I like it. And that makes it even easier. Joshua Palmer.
Thinking about Palmer, then I'm thinking about the next pick. All right. That's fine. It's even a little bit, it's slight value according to the last few days in this tournament.
Yeah.
I like Lloyd. He goes next. So you have some Green Bay going at 3. Watson, Musgrave, and Lloyd.
Yep. Yeah, Palmer, I think, is going to be a consistent, veteran threat there for them. I think they're going to kind of lean on him with no real alpha number 1. Especially best ball. I don't think he's 6 rounds worse than Ladd McConkey, so.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Cooks was a guy I liked a lot. Gabe Davis with Cooks with Prescott. Gabe Davis with Trevor Lawrence. Got the stacks going. Oh, my guy.
What?
My guy Dobbins goes. Okay. On the clock. I say, yes, I like that as well.
Hang on. Wow.
I like Quentin Johnston. Just get the whole thing.
Really?
I know. We could go. You want to go Pats?
A little bit. I think Gibson is a good idea.
Go Pats.
Little bit of value.
Correlation.
Yeah. I think we have to pick with the Chargers. I want one, but not both.
Okay.
So I would pick Gibson here if you're okay.
Yeah. No, get the correlation. That's going to be the game you need to have. Chargers, Patriots. What are your thoughts on? I know you've always been kind of a Gibson guy. Are you hearing anything about him this offseason, or what are you thinking?
No, I mean, it sounds at this point, for whatever it's worth, like it's pretty split between those two guys, but I don't think it's worth much, this time of year. I've liked Gibson, but when a guy like that, I mean, it's year 4, if not 5,
Yeah.
and you go to a new team for such small investment, I don't think you can be too optimistic. Like it's just, there's very little riding on him as far as the Patriots go. It's probably a bad team. They have the lowest win total in the NFL. So
you want that pass catching running back?
Yeah, I guess. But we just picked him. I just sort of trumped you on Gibson. The only real win there, I think, is if you lose Stevenson. Otherwise, how many weeks does Gibson count? You just want to make it to week 17 and have him count a week 17, but a lot's going to happen between now and then.
Yeah. No, I think
always like the player though.
Yeah, I think the kind of the macro view of them is they're not going to be good, and they're probably going to have a quarterback that hopefully likes to check the ball down. Gibson, they're going to be playing from behind, and that's always good for pass catcher running backs. Now, Stevenson's a good pass catcher running back too, but why would you bring? We always say stuff like this. Why would you bring in this player and not use him that way? But teams do that all the freaking time, So yeah, it's in a vacuum. I wasn't even looking at a couple of these players because we wanted to get correlation and stacking and stuff. In a vacuum, I like Jalen Wright pretty significantly more than Gibson, but just because he's an injury away from being electric. But like you said, you want to get the correlations, you want to get the stacks, because you want to be able to smash in that final week.
I think we should be looking for Chiefs and Ravens, a Bill, Buccaneers, maybe that McMillan.
Yes.
At this point.
Yep.
Anybody with some potential, Miami, that would have been right.
So Roy said a little bit earlier in the chat, can't believe some of these quarterbacks going before Stafford. So a lot of times what you'll find, this was a couple rounds ago, but a lot of times what you'll find, Roy, is you'll find that teams are like we're doing. Teams are building out for their season with stacking their own teams and correlating with other teams. So if there's shootouts, you have both teams in that shootout and you can win that week. We're looking towards the playoffs, and like in a vacuum, I would take Jalen Wright over Antonio Gibson, but I'm trying to build out Chargers versus Patriots. So guys like Stafford might fall because, he's not really a game changer as far as fantasy is concerned. And let me guess, did he go to the team with? No, he did not go to the team with the Rams, but he got taken right before that. Yeah, he got taken the pick before enemies at pick 9 who had all the Rams. So a lot of times you get these teams just building out stacks, and that's why someone might take a Caleb Williams over him, or a Kirk Cousins or a Trevor Lawrence, because they want to stack their own teams.
Still, though, you could have done it, Stafford it's a good argument, but Herbert is the same argument. I mean, they're both Herbert can be prolific, and he's younger, and his team his organization should have every reason to sort of support him and build around him. So maybe they're going to run the ball 70% of the time and we'll lose on this, but maybe not.
Right. Yeah.
Two more picks, by the way, on the stream, and then we'll wrap. And then the board and the analysis will be coming on X.com, as Adam calls it, or Twitter.
Yes.
That would be at DeepEndFF1.
All right. Are you happy right now with 6 receivers through 13?
Yeah, I think we need purple. And I think the rest should sort of make sense. And a third quarterback, probably.
Yeah, I definitely like the purple you got up there now.
3-6-8-3. I think, again, in a vacuum is what I would strive for.
I like that, although it doesn't correlate. I don't know how, and I kind of like that. I threw some tight ends at the bottom of the queue there.
Okay.
And I kind of like this too. I threw another one down there. All right.
There are 6 tight ends behind us. I wouldn't risk it. In fact, team 5 needs one. Team 6 on the clock could pick one.
So are you saying double tap? Or are you saying just?
No, I just want to get one probably first.
Yeah.
As you get this late, teams are more interested in their own correlations and stacks, or they're asleep.
Honestly, I don't mind double tapping either. I mean, we've got 2 quarterbacks, we've got 6 receivers, we've got only 4 running backs, but we've got 3. Hopefully we have the RB1 or RB2 and Brees Hall, and we've got Brooks and Harris, who are. You take 3 running backs in the top 8 rounds, you're really relying on them. So I don't think we need a running back in the next 2 picks either. So I like
the top guy is easy for me.
Take him.
Isaiah Likely, our first Raven with 3 Texans. That's a Christmas Day game.
Yep.
Who knows?
Who knows? Mark Andrews could go down. Likely's dominating sometimes. I mean, randomly, and that could be the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I like another one. Because if we don't take another one, like you said, if we don't take another one, we're getting into like RB 30 or sorry, tight end 32 territory. Like I don't even want to draft one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the guy at the top works. Yep. Although, how many times do both the tight ends go off in the same game? What kind of game is that?
Right. Fun.
Have 2 tight ends, the same 2 guys, combined for 4 touchdowns in any game in NFL history?
Do you know the answer to this?
No.
I'm sure there's been a Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski showdown.
Where they each, a 3 and a 1 maybe.
Super Bowl?
I'm looking for 2 and no.
No?
Well, there goes both ideas right there. They both have tight ends. Both the teams in front of us picked their 3rd tight ends.
Perfect. Well, we didn't want to check anyway.
Let's pick the running back we have up top.
Okay.
You all right with that?
Yeah. I mean, who does it go? Who does Tampa play?
Carolina.
Perfect.
Or the quarterback, if you rather.
No, I'd rather have the running back for sure.
I agree. Bucky Irving. We'll see.
Listen, you never have to make an
Anything can
excuse
work.
for taking a running back late, a backup or a running back, an injury away. You know what I mean? An injury away.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll finish this thing up and then share with everybody. July 9th, 3 weeks from tonight, is our next live stream. I think that's the Superflex draft. Do you know?
I don't know. But it's got we haven't done a Superflex yet, have we? So I think it is the Superflex.
I think it is too.
For sure. But yeah, we'll post it. We'll get that bad boy filled.
July 9th, plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, that's right. Plenty of time to draft. Jump into all the player profiler rankings over there. Check those out.
Thanks, everybody. I think this was a little bit of a bumpy one tonight. Let us know if you agree or not. At Shope Talk, at Adam_Krautwurst, at DeepEndFF1. We'll be back July 9th, if not sooner, to draft again. Appreciate you being with us and everybody at the Player Profiler Network, Mike and Adam in the Deep End. Good night.
See you guys.
Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.